So Isle of Dorn is helping to set up the final expansion of this trio. Hallowfall feels like it is trying to set up the next expansion. Although that being said, when I was flying around Hallowfall, you do notice like there are massive, rock structures very, very, very far away. The opposite, you don't even know if it's the opposite end of the cave. That's actually the point. That underwater sea is so big you can't see the other side.
Yeah.
Which does make me wonder what's there. So if they wanted a vaguely natural feeling patch zone, zipping over that might make sense. The reason why I say the next expansion is because of the video that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, there's
just that
so much.
It seems like a lot of things will be connected to the Sunwell.
Yes, very much so. In terms of the elves, and I guess if we're talking about Hallowfall specifically and relevance to setup and future payoff, because there's potential for like modern payoff. What's that even mean? Closer payoff in this expansion, but there's an awful lot of things that are clearly for down the line in some capacity. There's underwater, obviously, as pointed out, obviously, they're the fish. That peculiar fish that turns into a little octopus and goes, if you bring the light down to us, I will kill you, and I don't want to do that.
Speaking of which, actually, if you fly just far away, not far away, but if you fly
far away,
if you fly beyond the main big cathedral,
yes,
you do find this mob flying around called the Guardian.
Yeah, it's Medivh, obviously.
Medivh's an octopus now.
Yeah, it's some sort of guardian thing that's guarding the depths.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as the fish, because the fish isn't a fish. The fish is a...
Yeah, and that has been connected to...
Azamat-looking dude.
Yeah, Azamat, Kraken, and Ashara. Because obviously Naga, Kraken, all in league to some degrees.
Yep.
Sometimes not. So that's stuff that's all there, right? It's all there. There's all of the other side of Azeroth stuff with Avalorn been set up, with the Heretics 20,000 years ago, with Erinethria's Brood 20,000 years ago, because they were very intentionally both around the same time period.
Yeah, so they're around the same time period, but also remember the bit of dialogue where Faerun is like, wait, what? You guys ride dragons, huh?
Yeah, so...
Does she say overtly, we killed all of them?
No, she doesn't say that. No.
No. It's clear the dragons aren't something they're humongous fans of.
Yes. I won't bother showing you. But basically, she says...
It's outside of not being logged into your own site.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't show you it. It's not logged in for fuck's sake. So she knows dragons exist, but she considers them creatures of legend that scar lands and grant wishes. She doesn't go, oh yeah, dragons are all about the place.
Yeah. So maybe her ancestors killed them all.
Potentially. Or at least killed enough of them that they aren't a part of the Empire. Didn't assimilate them. Because one of the big things that they talk about consistently through Hallowfall is that the Empire back home wouldn't take to your kind very well. They're not big fans of you people who don't look like us. Which is really funny because no one else on the planet looked like them because they're half-elves. The only person they would accept is Arator. Obviously, that's how Arator gets brought into Midnight in a really cool way. Connecting that to the that. Yeah, Steel Strike mentions putting down rebellions. Yep, you're correct. Steel Strike did that. So she's a lovely old granny that also just probably murdered loads of dragon babies because her emperor told her to. Bastards. 40k Imperium coded. Yeah, they are full. They are full Imperium. Like they're full Imperium coded, which I really like because. In the article, I talk about Avalorn and it obviously being Avalon. And I go, oh my God, it's the Brits. It's just going to be the Brits. They're going to do hey boys, we want to do a story about how Imperial Britain might have been bastards. I know what happened.
Oh yeah.
Blizzard devs, when they're working the War Within, were watching our stream, watched us talk about RRR, watched it.
That's it.
And then they're like, you know what? You're right. Fuck the Brits. Anyway, can we please not fight them? They sound awesome.
Some will befriend, some will not befriend, I imagine.
Now, I know like people are going to be upset because the ones that they think are cool are the evil murdering ones. And they're not going to be our mates. We're going to go over with Faerun and Faerun will be like, can we not be violent? And lots of people are like, but I like the violent ones. They're the cool ones. Damn. Which is going to be a problem. Yeah. Scarlet Crusade gives us a side eye. We're not so bad now, are we? Basically. Basically, because the Scarlets were pretty bad, but they didn't, as it was put by Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce it, Dawn Cavalier, the blacksmith. Imperial Steel conquered a continent. So they did just establish glorious dominion.
So that's also where it's interesting to me.
Glorious dominion.
So, you look at Europe. Europe has got many different countries. Those countries have not always been friends.
Really?
Look at North America. The United States sort of, dominates coast to coast, right? There's something to be said for, your slice of your continent with choke points. I mean, not that Canada's a choke point, but obviously you're not going to take a swipe at America now. I guess what I'm talking about is a sort of undivided continent.
Yeah,
which is what we probably have got with the Arathi.
Because it is a continent.
Yeah, they're going to be a true superpower.
Yeah.
One that is perhaps not as robust, because I guess the thing is they probably have a lot of unity, strength, and all of that. But between Alliance and Horde, all the different factions, there's lots of different strengths, lots of different weaknesses, and that's useful.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have loads of raid buffs. They only really have paladins and mages.
That's it.
They have paladins, mages, and warriors.
It's precisely what I meant.
Yeah, so we're gonna show up and we've got versatility from druids, and they're
so you're saying whenever we finally
it's over,
go to take out America, the Brits will have some buffs, the French will have a few buffs, the Germans will have different buffs, or all buff each other.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it'll be us going to them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Arathi are an antagonist in Midnight. Because I think for many people, they thought about Midnight and maybe thought, oh, that's when the Urel stuff's going to happen. Maybe maybe that'll be them instead. That being said, I just did some quests with Overlord Gaera. The sort of Garrosh... Gaera.
Yeah, not Gaera.
Gaera!
It's like, what do you call the homosexual Egyptian god? But oh dear.
Yeah, so I did quests with her. She's kind of relevant because she spent her entire life with all of her mates getting brutally killed by Urel's mates. So, why are they choosing to include her again as a character? Is it that they don't really have orcs? Because they killed all their orcs. There still are a few orcs they could use, but no, they're using her. Which, she is set up for some sort of showdown with Urel. I mean, not literally in game, but the universe sets her up for that because Urel was the villain of her childhood.
Yeah, no, this is where I am a little bit concerned.
But Urel will be old, but she's a Draenei, so that doesn't really
matter. It doesn't matter. The only problem would be the orcs would age, of course. But the timeline difference there is interesting because, never mind. I was completely lost on a different point. But what I want to say is I am worried about that plot point in specifically and how it connects, because that's a lot. It's just a lot. It's just going to be a lot. I feel like the Arathi are probably, at least to me, I think they may be the replacement for Urel's Lightbound.
I can see that.
And I think they may at some capacity find a way to go, and they fucked off into space and never come back, whatever mystical forces held back all of the different timeline shenanigans and all the universes, doesn't matter. Shut up. I'm a little bit...
Sorry, Urel got deleted. A glitch in the universe.
Yeah. Pull some fucking Marvel meta shit and turn her off. Do
you think they'll ever deal with it properly again? Do you think they'll go there?
This is where I don't know, because after what they've done so far, I don't know if I would... Okay, I would trust them to. And I feel really weird saying that. I feel like they could now doing it in the scope.
Is that what's happened?
Doing it in the scope of Midnight's really weird.
In the past,
yeah,
you would have thought they will do that, but you didn't trust them.
Yeah.
Now we trust them, but don't think they'll do that.
Yeah. I feel like they might just never bother with it again, especially because it was only set up in a Maghar quest. So how many people have done that or paid
Fair.
attention? You can easily box it off and go, it's some silly thing, whatever.
Or they use Draenor Urel as fodder to show power level of Void. Actually,
that would be way too unsatisfying.
It would be very unsatisfying.
Because in terms of the canon as we understand it, she basically got the entire world bound, or the entire universe
Well, the continent anyway.
vaguely bound.
What?
You know, in terms of timeline.
Not the entire
Because you know what the Army of the Light did. Imagine the Army of the Light without the Legion fighting them.
Yeah, but the Legion were still. Oh God, I don't. Do you know what the problem is?
Yeah, because one Legion.
Right, one Legion across every timeline is the most dumb thing. Oh, but Matt, I hadn't thought about that until the last time I thought about that, and it made me angry, but I got a good lore video out of it. God damn it. Do you guys remember one Legion across all time? I think. Oh, it was Alex. Big Alex.
It was.
Big Alex behind such fun times as Sylvanas and Teldrassil. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there's an awful lot there that could be done. I don't know. I don't want them to. I want them to beat that down the line and have it be a different thing after the World Saga, because I think there's a little bit too much going on. Because the way I see it, they've got to bring the light into it, right? They have to bring the narrow into it. Obviously, Beladar is clearly a fucking narrow ship. It can't be anything else. It literally can't. If it's anything else, it's bullshit on their end, right? Because it's called Beladar. It's called Beladar. It's floating near fucking Merildar, who was the one who got the vision from Five Naru. It's got symbols that are similar looking to like Oshogun around the ceiling around it. It's clearly a Naru ship.
There is how the light sort of cast forth pure crystals of light in the very early days.
Yes, but I've thought of this in great detail because I tried so hard to narrow
So I'm
down
thinking about you QAing the video that's going up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you it's all shit. Anyway, that's not true. But that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But I think it's unlikely for the sole reason that if the Titans showed up to Azeroth and saw a big light crystal, they'd rip that shit clean out. They'd be like, get this fucking shit out of my planet. I don't want to do that. That's what I would imagine.
So when do you think it landed?
It landed sometime before we started recording history, which I think is pre-20,000.
Yeah, I think the earliest point I think the earliest confirmed point in the timeline is 150,000 years ago.
Yeah, I assume it's some point.
Although
it's some point post Titan occupation. No, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Shit, damn.
Wait, it doesn't make why not?
Because the dragons would have seen it.
So then it's before.
So and then the Titans didn't do anything about it.
But it was deeply embedded within the earth. Maybe they didn't know it was there.
Which doesn't make an awful lot of sense, but only because
think about the roots.
Like
the roots are there, and Aman'Thul didn't notice.
Yeah, then
and they're near the roots.
Yeah, and NR didn't do shit then, which is fine. Actually, I have a thought. I have a thought on this.
Elune, remember the Khadgar book of Elune creating the Prime Naru?
The Elune connection solves all this. And there's also a thought.
We've just done a thing.
Yeah, there's also a really fucking crackheaded theory I have, which I don't believe, but I really, if it's true, I'm gonna be so happy.
And now for today's segment, I don't know, ideas from the pipe.
Yeah, so that's really good actually. The big ocean.
The big ocean
under Hallowfall.
Yes.
The big ocean that's just a stone's throw away from all the roots. We know there was a source of water that fed the roots and helped them grow.
The breathing hole.
Right? We know there was a source of water that fed the roots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know where that source was?
Well, that would be aforementioned river? What?
Yeah,
aforementioned lake.
Because it's the only water down there, right?
It is the only water down there.
What? But what? Where did it come from?
Well, Matt, you see, hydrogen is the most abundant atom in the... Not atom, what am I fucking on?
Yeah. No, how have none of you got this? Am I the only one? Am I the only real one here?
You're the only... Oh my god, it's gamer girl bathwater. It's the tears. It's A&R's tears. A&R's tears is the fucking lake.
Correct.
And then
Possibly
Elune...
Yep, Elune with bitter tears that rain down upon the resulting crater.
Aha!
That's a possibility.
Aha!
It's only a possibility.
No, it's real.
Because
It's real. Ship it.
Because what's the crater? Is the crater inside? Is the crater Hallowfall? Is the crater what? What's the core way? Who's the core way? We're getting really deep into hyper speculation. We should probably pull it back to talk about the actual expansion. Possibly. This is a spoiler cast, not a...
What is there?
Spoiled
What
brain
happened? Bunch of people cried and pressed the W key.
Yes. So, anyway, yeah, that was one of the thoughts I actually had was...
Okay, that's good. That's strong. I like it.
Yeah, she wept bitter tears that rained down upon the resulting crater. Blah, 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 blah. Below ground, the roots fed upon the tears of A&R and grew strong. So that was a thing. That was going. Did she plant a giant light source for the roots? I don't think so, because of reasons. Why is that? Because she wouldn't be able to put a crystal in there. Because the crystal clearly went bang and spoke through. It didn't go jammed up the other way.
Poke through what?
The
cave.
Bottom of the sea. The bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Outside thing. So realistically, if we took a swim, we'd find the top of it somewhere. Or we'd find where it entered. Unless it was covered over.
Where...
Also...
I feel like I need a I need a map of the area so that we can look at the angle. Like... What happens...
Good thing we have the internet.
Yeah, what happens, right? If you go to the Isle of Dorn and you just fly north and you try to follow the angle at which
Did you fly
Bellador...
north? Why'd you fly north?
Well, because...
Crystal's over here.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Crystal's
so you...
over to the east.
If you were in the Isle of Dorn
Yeah.
and then you flew to where the crystal is, what would
Yeah.
you find?
You'd find nothing.
Because you die of the fatigue meter running
Yeah,
out.
but no.
Unfortunately.
You'd find nothing because they didn't put it in the game. No, you'd find nothing because it's clear. Okay. You either find nothing, or you would find
Has anyone done that?
a hole. I imagine it's too far away. It's too far away. You wouldn't be able to see anything. But if it was close enough for you to see, we would have seen it. If it wasn't close enough for you to see, they wouldn't put it in the game because you wouldn't be able to fly over there without cheating. So anyway, it's filling in from the Maelstrom Whirlpool. Duh. I wish that were true. That'd be really funny. But no, the Maelstrom's different.
Too far north and different.
Yeah. But it did lead me to something, to another thought, which is we think it's pretty big, right? The crystal is pretty large. But we only see the tip of it. We don't see what's above there.
No.
Because it could be like a blade where it's like, here's the bit poking out and then there's like a hilt bit stopping it. Or it could be, here's like the extruding bit of a giant fucking Naru fortress.
No, literally the tip of an iceberg. So it could be many times the size that we see.
Yeah.
Which could match the sort of primordial like crystal thing.
Or it could match shit like Tempest Keep, fucking massive.
It's way bigger than Tempest Cape.
Yeah, Tempest Keep had 3 Naru in it. So if it's way bigger than Tempest Keep, how many fucking Narus in there?
Yeah, but if it's 5...
5 Naru.
5 is the obvious number
version,
because of Meldar.
Yeah. Isn't it the tip of the blade stabbed himself this? No,
Nope.
it's not. That's completely different. Completely different. Unless...
But unfortunately for Blizzard, it looked like that, and everybody for about 10 minutes thought, oh shit, what if it's that? And then they said that it wasn't that. But
yeah.
it is hard. Once like the idea gets out there, it's hard to put it sort of back. So they haven't really been able to convince or to like get the word out that it's not the tip of the blade, because it's not the tip of the blade. Although the blade is relevant because whenever like the blade does have a connection to Meldar. Sorry, not Meldar, to Belladar. Yeah, the Day of Darkness happened whenever the blade
Oh, right.
struck.
Yes. So I thought you meant the weapon itself.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Gorbal didn't do shit. No.
From what we understand, the Day of Darkness was the first time that Baladar shifted into the void, and that coincided with Sargeras stabbing the world,
Which probably means he stabbed the crystal on the other side.
That doesn't work. That doesn't make geographical sense.
It doesn't, no. It doesn't at all.
Unless it's...
No, it would make sense if he stabbed and the stab is what...
Well, it just rumbled everything
Mate,
about. Oh,
we're fucking idiots.
well, they know that.
Where did he stab?
Well, yeah, the whole point is he stabbed the heart, near the heart of
No.
the Chamber of the Heart.
No.
Silithus? He stabbed Silithus.
Yeah. What's in Silithus?
Sand.
What
Bugs.
else is in Silithus?
Bugs.
What else is in Silithus?
Anchorage.
What's an Anchorage?
More bugs.
What else is an Anchorage?
Corpse of Cthulhu.
Yeah. What's currently moving all around downstairs in Azeroth?
Goop.
That's a weird way to put it. What's all flowing around Khazalgar now?
Goop.
Black blood?
Black blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just burst Cthulhu's corpse open. And now there's blood.
I'm imagining
all
this
the
like,
blood. Like that's
it's like a Tarantino blood.
yeah. That's probably what caused bursting.
Is he just like a big boba?
Yeah, bursting Cthulhu's corpse is probably what started the blood all shifting.
All right.
Because if all the blood is the old gods bleeding into the planet over time, like it happened with Saronite, then it's likely that blood...
It's called Acherite.
Yeah. A lot of the blood down there, well, I mean, not being called Acherite, obviously, because there's Nerubians down there, but it's not called Acherite because it is actually black, old god related. It's just because of the Akir. But because you've got Cthulhu blood, potentially.
Blood.
You've also got the whole history of the Black Empire, so it might not be just Cthulhu
Just
blood.
general flesh blood.
But also, Yasharaj was around there.
Yeah, there is
Even
the
though
entire...
I really want to call him Yasharaj, but Yasharaj
bleedy flesh.
was in the middle, yeah.
Fleshy bleed. Big strange pit near the Haranir.
Yeah.
There is just a mystery flesh pit underneath Ashkahet.
Yeah, it's like down there is all fucked up blood.
Yeah, like...
I don't know why I pointed my finger.
It's really quite unsettling when you look at it. You know, don't think about what's under Ashkahet. It's not nice.
Yeah. So like that's just a thought. I just realized that's probably what shit. Because I knew all the blood started shifting around the same time, right? Because obviously that all kicked off that time because that's the point of the story. Because the story is they looked at the sword and went, Azeroth's crying now. What the fuck? This is a weird way to put it. But that's kind of what happened. So I imagine that's probably the literal how of it. Is he just bust open Cthulhu. Like a big blood, like a blood bank he just rammed a truck into.
Now, the Hermit. Is it the Hermit? Twilight Hermit?
Yeah.
Whenever you bring him the...
Void Song.
whenever you go to him with your trading post things equipped, he says, how'd the trading post get those? What? No, he doesn't. He says, do you really think somebody with as big a brain, do you think a smart a man as Sargeras would have just stabbed there for the crack? Or do you think he would have done it as a plan?
Yeah.
As part of a plan. And so it's very heavily insinuated that Sargeras stabbed there for a reason. Now, my thought had always been that's near the Chamber of the Heart, so he basically tried to, land a killing blow based on, where he was in relation to the planet.
Or did he land a killing blow?
And then the other, and so I had assumed that it was the destabilization of all of the Titan systems around Azeroth that kind of led to all of this happening. But the blood flowing because of the corpse of Cthulhu being mangled up is a really nice angle to it. I like that.
Which also would accidentally,
it's probably a bit of everything though, because all the Titan stuff also got rumbled.
Yeah, because all the Azeroth, she was bleeding Azerite as well. So clearly it was a big thing. It was a big stab. So there is a, since we got Azerite 2, wouldn't that mean the sword was basically an injection of black blood into Azeroth? I mean, that's the thing. The black blood could be literally mingling. Now obviously we've healed her enough that she's not spewing Azerite all over the place. So I think that's probably not the case, because she immediately was like, that really fucking hurts. And then
we spent an entire expansion getting her platelet count up with Magni.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. Just a shame about most of the
I mean, it really wasn't. I think that blew.
Just a shame about most of the expansion.
Hey, we got a football boss, and that was pretty good.
Sylva's northwest of Hallowfall. The stab may have been close enough to Baladar to shift it. It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Okay. It either did or Blizzard have told us it did to fake us out, because it was Alleria and Anduin both come to the decision independently that the Day of Darkness was that day. And they say that being like,
independent, yeah.
Yeah, they both like, Anduin goes to say something later, like, oh, you realised it too. Realised as opposed to, oh, is that your hypothesis, Anduin? I've come to similar conclusions. No, it's like, oh, you realised it. Oh, you understood. You understood. Doesn't that completely fly in the face of Sargeras' end goal? Who the fuck knows? His end goal was interesting because
we don't know what it is.
By most accounts, it was like early. It was claim Azeroth and kill Azeroth to stop the old gods from taking over. But then in Legion, they were pumping Argus full of stuff to make him angry and explode, basically, because they didn't kill him. He didn't split Argus too. They were using it as a home base. But there was also the thing about Sargeras being...
He was infatuated.
Sargeras being infatuated with Azeroth. And it's not made very explicitly clear if he's like, I'm going to make Azeroth my Titan wife, or if it's just, she's such a radiant, unbelievable...
Well, a single eye looks... Yeah. Basically, he kind of like... he sort of... Isn't it in the War of the Ancients? He sort of focuses at the world soul, and then it looks back at him with one eye. When was the one eye?
It's a different time because it's the making of the Scepter Sargeras.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's not the War of the Ancients.
Okay, never mind.
It's another time. So he was doing that. And he saw her and got infatuated with her, be that her power. But like that framing is different to, I don't give a shit about her, I'm going to kill her because she's the end goal of the Void Lords.
Yes, it was that Azeroth is so dangerous that she represents an existential threat to, everything. Yes. And he didn't want the end.
Yeah.
Although he's one of those, those characters, those sort of villainous characters who are so extreme about making their point that they really just act a bit weird and unhinged. Which does make me wonder what will happen when he comes back, which I think will happen in the final Titan, the last Titan.
It will. Metzen basically said it would.
Yeah, and that's going to mean
because he said
back as well.
Because he said the resolution of the sword, you're not prepared for that moment, and he said it very specifically, meaning that the last Titan will have Illidan and Sargeras, and Illidan's going to use the sword and be the cool guy.
Illidan comes back, but he's the size of Sargeras, and he picks up the sword.
Yeah, that's
how the hell are they going to do that?
I don't give a shit because I'm in completely two minds. It's either the coolest thing they'll ever do, or the worst thing they've ever done. And it's exactly like it's exactly like I Am My Scars, right? Where it's Illidan, it's all down to, do they animate it right? And does Liam O'Brien say it right? Because if it's him giving his full stacks, he's gigantic, he whips out the sword and cleaves Aman'Thul in two, everyone will be like, fuck right, yes, let's go. But yeah, they have to do it right. They have to do it right. Yeah, it's like they made I Am My Scars work. That's what I think is great. It's a combination of, it's Illidan, so he's like the anti-hero of all time, and also it's Liam O'Brien, so it just works. It just works.
He's good at speaking words.
He is really good. His work in Nier as the Grimoire is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, so as long as they don't do a My Beloved, then
exactly.
we will be okay.
Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
So it feels like we kind of went to do the spoiler cast, but instead we just sort of
fucking veered off into space.
Fucking worked out the whole thing.
Yeah, we did in a way.
Which in a way is the point of the spoiler cast. It's the nerdy lore properly getting into it.
Yeah.